आज सरस्वती माता का पूजन किया जाता है। और जो लोग जो छोटे बच्चे होते हैं और वो पहली बार पढ़ना शुरू करते हैं, तो इसे मानते हैं कि आज के दिन से उनकी शुरुआत करनी चाहिए। आज के दिन में सरस्वती माता के इस पूजन के साथ प्रथम शिक्षण की भी बातें होती है और उनको सिखाया जाता है। तो वैसे देखा जाए तो आज का दिन बहुत 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 ही शुभ है सभी के लिए। और बहुत सारी ठंडी का मौसम चलता है। पिछले 2-3 महीने से जो ठंडी का माहौल है, तो उनमें जो ग्रीष्म ऋतु की जो छड़ी पुकारते हैं, वो आज के दिन से ही वो शुरुआत होती है। तो वैसे ठंडी होती है लेकिन वो धीरे धीरे कम होती है। और एक छड़ी पुकारते हैं कि चलो वसंत आ गया। वसंत एक ऐसी ऋतु है जिसमें बिना जैसे बारिश में फूल खिलते हैं, उसमें पानी वो सब लगता है। लेकिन वसंत ऋतु ऐसा है कि बारिश ना होते हुए भी हर जगह पे फूल खिलते हैं, नए पेड़ पौधे में नई नई जान आती है और एक नवपल्लित जीवन शुरू होता है। और आज का टॉपिक भी लव के शिव का जो प्रेम है के रिलेटेड ही है। उनकी तो बात ही कुछ अलग है, शिव शंकर भगवान की तो बात ही अलग है। मैं इनवाइट करती हूँ अजय जी को कि वो हमें आगे मार्गदर्शन कर।
ओके, यस। जय
जय
गुरुदेव।
गुरुदेव।
आप सबका बहुत प्यार और सम्मान के साथ स्वागत करता हूं। आज 14 फरवरी है और प्रीति जी ने ऑलरेडी सभी बताया है कि आज का दिन का क्या खासियत है और अपने कल्चर में भी, हिंदुस्तानी कल्चर में भी इसका क्या महत्व है वो भी बताया, तो मैं वापस रिपीट नहीं करता हूं। लेकिन सुप्रीम लव, वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग। वो जीवन, कैसा जीवन जिसमें प्यार ना हो। लेकिन लोगों को प्यार का मतलब सब लोग अलग अलग तरीके से वो लेते हैं। और लेकिन सही प्यार क्या है और प्यार के क्या क्या स्टेजेस हैं, ये समझना बहुत इम्पोर्टेंट है और इंटरेस्टिंग है। और सही में प्यार जो है वो, और किस तरीके से वो सुप्रीम प्यार जो है, प्रेम है, उसका अनुभव हम कैसे कर सकते हैं। इट्स लाइक एन अनकंडीशनल लव। हमारे जीवन में जितने भी रिश्ते होते हैं, हम हर एक जगह से कोई ना कोई एक्सपेक्टेशंस रखते हैं। यदि एक्सपेक्टेशंस रखते हैं तो वो कंडीशनल हो जाता है। तो इफ इट इज अ कंडीशनल बीइंग, इट इज नॉट लव, इट वो बिजनेस बन जाता है। तो ये जो है, लव इज अनकंडीशनल, टोटली एक्सेप्टिंग द person as it is, owning the person as it is, and being with that person. That's what is real love. And उसका आनंद हम वन टू वन में, हमेशा के लिए, वन टू ऑल, वन टू द यूनिवर्स कर सकते हैं। पूरा जीवन ही हम प्यार के लिए समर्पित हो सकता है, और वो जीवन ही means यही आध्यात्मिकता है। तो इसमें और ज्यादा समय नहीं लेता हूँ। आज का जो टॉपिक है, हमारे एक्सपर्ट और बहुत प्यारे दोस्त जेक लाइट जी आए हैं। तो ये आपका बहुत प्यार से स्वागत करता हूँ आज के इस खास दिन पर और खास टॉपिक पर। जय गुरुदेव। ओवर टू यू।
Pranams to all of you. I'll prefer speaking in English more today. So we have Ajay ji who introduced and his lovely team. Every Wednesdays we have this recharger and we come up with some topics. So today's topic was chosen by Ajay ji only because he said love, speak on love. So I gave him, he asked me what are you going to speak about. So I talked about something related to the ultimate truth. And Ajay ji said, no, let's have something on love because it's Valentine. So first I hesitated. I said, then please, if you can carry on with some other speaker, because I'm not expert in these topics. Then he said, no, we can relate it to that only and keep something. Then I tried 2, 3 options. Then he suggested some names, and then finally we came to Supreme Love. So as my habit, घुमा फिरा के उधर ही आ जाऊंगा. So my habit is whatever you talk to me about and whatever topic we relate to from the worldly aspects, I come back to the deeper supreme truths, ultimatum. Because why I make these efforts is because I know it's very easy to get confused. to get distracted in this world that is full of knowledge about the worldly aspects and the topics on the world, which we call as Bhautik Gyan. This is known as a Bhautik Gyan. Bhautik Gyan means something related to the worldly aspects. So I am right now in Ganeshpuri, Bhagwan Nityananda's place. And it's a beautiful timing. I'm here. I know it's Vasant Panchami, and there's a Havan going on. There is a Palki going on. It's a celebration here. I relate most to the celebration within, because Nityananda, if you look at him, he's an Avaduta. He never celebrated from outside. He was constant celebration. Constant means Nitya. Ananda means bliss. He was in his own constant bliss. And these masters come to us as um, examples. So they teach a lot without teaching. They can teach by their words and they can teach by their actions. They can teach by the way they live. So Bhagavan Nityananda was someone like that, and I never knew this person until in 2008. I first walked here, and my whole life changed after that. I was boozing all day, smoking all the time, filthy activities going on in my life, and completely depressed and crumpled, suicidal, and all those things. In 2008, I walked in here without my knowledge of who is he, and something happened, which only after years later I realized it was Shaktipat. That happened to me here. And after that, my whole life changed. So I've been teaching about these great masters who are in the subtle dimensions and are still taking care of us. They take care of our needs, provided we are available. All that we need to do to get their grace is to be available. Ajay ji, are we recording this live? I'm sorry. Are
Yes,
you doing it live?
yes, yes,
Yes,
yes.
yes. Can you just post me that link so that some people are asking me who do not have Zoom, elderly people, including my mom. So I'll send the
Okay.
YouTube link.
Sure, sure, sure. I'm sending it to you now.
Thank you. So this tattva, these people were not preachers. They were never mounted up mics and put up pandals and hired halls and did their activities. They simply walked naked through the streets. And what they did, how they lived, taught people much. And from there, we get the understanding of what these people actually did for us and what were they trying to talk about. I don't know if you're having disturbances, don't mind. I can hear a lot of disturbance. There are dogs barking. There is a whole celebration going on there. There is a temple sound there, and there's something going on the mic there. One reason I don't prefer to come here when it's any season, and today I don't know. I just walked in here and it's celebration. So there is a havan going on here, and I'm told that anything you ask for today, because today Vasant Panchami means new beginnings, new season. So you just have new beginnings today with good intentions. You can purify the whole season changes, the whole life, the whole Shrishti creation becomes very conducive for your new growth, a new outlook to life, new beginnings. So that's Vasant Panchami, and I'm glad to be here today. All by his call. So Nityananda is someone who has taught me very much subtly. And that's the reason I try to teach these themes. I would request to just off the mics. There are disturbance coming from the mics. So.
एक मिनट, हाँ?
Yeah, I'll wait.
Now unmute. Unmute Sir, please unmute.
Okay. Is it working now?
Yeah, now it is okay.
Okay.
Sorry for the disturbance.
No problem. No problem. So, anyways, I was saying this is how people attend satsangs. They have hundreds of priorities. So they have this work, that work, and it's just a time pass. They have a glance and they just want to be connected and update. Nothing will work. I tell this often in all my Zoom sessions. Until you have one pointedness to what you are trying to get, you're not going to get it. And why we don't get ahead or evolve fast in the spirituality is because of these distractions. Our whole life is full of distractions and we don't pay attention to it. That's why I say live a life of awareness. If you shift into awareness and live, you are very conscious of all these things. So when you become very conscious and aware, you have to do little, not too much. People who do too much are always distracted people. They are doing this, they are doing that, they're running here, running there, and all those things, and little gather. I say just be steady, just be available to yourself and a space. Even in 15 minutes you can be available to yourself, you'll have so much. Because we feel it is somewhere. It's not somewhere, it's right there. Right there. So even if you go to such places, holy places, until we silence, until we come to that stillness, nothing happens. So that stillness is everything. That is why Bhagavan Nityananda also taught about Nischala Tattva. He said, Nischal Man. Until mind becomes still, nothing is going to happen. And I come here and I see all celebrations. Everybody is talking, walking, running. How and then what did you get? I can ask all the people who come here and go, what do you get? Spiritual entertainment. So we go anywhere. If you're not conscious, it's just a picnic. And at the same time, you spend 3-4 days in some place and you enjoy all the sceneries around. You see all the trees around, you saw the people around, the food, you explore the clothes, the shopping, everything there. You go to all the temples, do all kind of rituals, everything you do, and you can still come back empty. That's a pity. Whereas I say in that 4 days, even if you sit 4 minutes in complete stillness, you'll have that which you cannot get in 4 days. It's complete stillness, absence of thoughts. People misunderstand dhyana as that also. Dhyana means complete absence of thoughts. So the effort should be to go there. So even this topic of supreme love, we won't understand until we are still. Because this is a very deep topic. This is the love story that's deeply happening within you. If you don't pay attention, you'll miss that love story. Because until you become still, you cannot see that love story going between you and your beloved, already together. Whereas we are seeking, as Ajay said, all our beloveds are supposedly outside. We seek all the beloveds, all our lovers are outside. So, the more you seek outside, we know what happened to all the love stories. I was contemplating on some stories that somebody told me, like of Taj Mahal. Taj Mahal in India is supposed to be the symbol of love. It's famous. It's one of the 8 wonders. It's called the symbol of love. But I can say very strongly with whole conviction, it is a symbol of lust. Because that guy married that girl as he fell in love. But if his love was eternal and he built that monument for him, why did he marry again? Plenty of times. He had many wives. So the so-called Mumtaz also could not give him what he is seeking. That is why people go crazy behind their beloveds, that they can erect even Taj Mahals. It's simply show off. Nonsense. I don't know. I've even read, I'm not sure of this, but I've even read that he married his own daughter because she looked like Mumtaz. And you call that love? Amazing. So we can do all kind of nonsenses and call that love. That is why I say, do not even speak of unconditional love. We are not even close to it. We are not even close to the conditional love in perfection. Forget unconditional love. We must have the courage to investigate these things. Then only we rise above, and then we learn the supreme love that's going on within us. Now, I don't know why Valentine they celebrate. They tell a lot of stories about it, but who cares about stories? And all these stories and all these matters is called just Bhautik Gyan. This is all worldly matters. So it's called worldly knowledge, which Bhagavan Nityananda was strictly against. He said, you have collected all the worldly knowledge of the world. When will you collect the knowledge of yourself? The real Gyan, that's called the Atma Gyan, Tattva Gyan, Atma Bodha. When will you realize that? Because until you fall in love with that Tattva of yours, it's very difficult. I can explain today why we are so fond of these beloveds. I'm not against lovers. I'm not against. I am just telling why do we develop this fascination towards external objects? And that object is also a relationship. Every relationship is an object. How much ever you glorify in the name of even Valentine. Valentine is actually glorifying and worshipping that fake love because we can't see that fake love. There are people who make their beloveds, like there are people who make gods their beloved. Can you imagine that kind of a love? How could that be? Like when I lived with my guru, I used to call him beloved. I used to call Nityananda beloved. Now, okay, my guru is in the physical body, understood. There is someone to express or something which can objectify. But what about this person? You call beloved. You call Nityananda your beloved. How can you fall in love with this person? And look at his looks. Is he handsome? Because we are used to fall in love with all that is handsome. You check out with all the people who say, I'm in love. And ask them for a while, what are you in love with? They'll say, what do you mean? I'm in love with that person. What aspect of that person? Then the truth will start coming out. It will first begin with the face. Don't tell me anybody can fall in love with a covered face. You fall in love with the face, not the person. Love at first sight, you must have heard. You don't even know who's that. There might be a crook in that body. There might be someone evil in that, a saint in that. Who knows? But you look and you fall in love, head over heels. And you call that love at first sight. What are we loving there? The face. Now, let's say that person gets married to that face or is committed to that face, which he calls the entire unit. And let's say something happens to that face. Or let's say that face olds out, gets old naturally. Or let's say the face has some injuries. Will that love still remain? We can reflect on all these things that is happening in our life and check it out. If something happens to that person, let's say that person gets bedridden. It's like, oh my God, who's going to take care of this one now? What were you loving? This is what we have to realize. Whatever we call so-called love. Again, I'm telling, I'm not against this. We cannot be against it because we have a human body, we have tendencies, we have these panchendriyas, and we have all the right to come here and experience this physical love. No doubt about it. That is the reason I have entered this physical body. Otherwise, why would I have come here? I would have roamed in some other dimension without the physical body. I would have roamed in my astral body and still have progressed in whatever way I can. There are ways. Why have I specifically taken the physical body? Because I want to experience that certain blissfulness and that experience, blissfulness through that experience, through that physical body. Because that physical body has this Panchindriya, the five tool, the five senses. And when you unite all the five senses, it's an amazing experience. It is an amazing experience which only humans can experience. That's the reason we take this physical body to experience it. So it is not right to deny that. I'm not denying it. I am saying that is not the only purpose why we have taken birth. Why? Because we are like fallen angels. We keep on degrading with collection of more impurities, which we call the mala. We generate more karmas because of the mala. Impurities, the first impurity is the I, feeling of I separate from the beloved. And because of that, I fall in the catches of so-called Maya. Maya cannot affect until I have separatedness. That is why Maya cannot affect you while you're asleep. While you're meditating, Maya cannot touch you. When you're thoughtless. When you're in deep sleep, does Maya touch you? Does this world even exist for you? It doesn't even exist. Does all your relationship exist for you? No, they're all poof, gone. In sleep, they are gone. In meditation, they are gone. All the beloveds also are disappeared. It's only when you wake up or when you come out of samadhi or meditation, you immediately start falling back in love with all those things. So can I say my waking up is the cause of my love? Yes, it is. My waking up is the cause of my love. If I don't wake up, there's no question. If I don't get out of samadhi, there's no question. Now you will understand why Avadutas can never fall in love with any damn thing on this planet. Because they are always in meditative awareness. Their physicalities might move around, but they are sthita prajnas. Sthita means staying still. Prajna means your awareness. Still awareness. Even in a moving body, the awareness, the consciousness is still. That's called sthita prajna. The Bible says, be still and know that I am God. Even in mystic, the group I had put that, even the Zen masters say that. Where stillness is, God is there. Nityananda says the same. Nirmalaman, first purify your mind. Nirmal, remove that mal, the dirt. When you remove the dirt, you become Nischala. The moment you become Nischala, you'll find God. Shiva Sutras. Lord Shiva says, when Ma Parvati, his beloved, that's a divine romance I want to talk about. The ultimate divine romance. Where are they? In which heaven? Nowhere. They are you. They are you. Realizing this is self-realization. Both the Ardhanareshwara are inseparable. You can see the Shiva and Shakti as Ardhanareshwara. They cannot be separated. Just like you cannot separate the milk from its whiteness or the whiteness from the milk or the sweetness from the milk. One. Impossible. So the ultimate truth, ultimate reality is Sat and Chit are always together. That is why the result of which is bliss. Sat Chit Ananda. All the great mystics have told. Sat Chit Ananda. What is this Sat and Chit? Why that Ananda comes? The bliss comes when the Sat meets with Chit. These both are always meeting each other. They don't meet. They're always meeting each other. And the result is Ananda. Sat and Chit. Who's Sat and Chit? In your terminology, Shiva and Parvati. The problem is, people have idolized Shiva and Parvati, which is not the truth. All the idolization of these two beloveds sitting under the tree, sitting on a hill, sitting somewhere, communing, having communication with each other. Just Google and say Shiva Parvati. You'll see all kind of romantic images. They are romancing around. Sometimes you can see they are smooching also. I was searching for a pic and I saw them doing all this. I was like, oh my God, who designed all this? You know, they are literally lip to lip, they're having a kiss. Okay. If you're trying to say that's the divine romance of Shiva Shakti, understood. But sorry, you are projected your vasana on that image. You have projected your lust on that image. Whatever romance means to you, you have imprinted that on that divine tattva. I'm not saying you did a sin or something. It's all projections, Devans. However, your internal projection, that you will project outside. Whatever your deep beliefs and patterns, you will project outside. You can paint gods in any way you want. That is why I'm not so very impressed with all these paintings of whoever it is, whether it is Jesus or Buddha or Shiva or Krishna or Rama. Who cares how they looked? Somebody paints them blue, somebody orange, somebody white, somebody black. Somebody shows in anger, somebody shows in a certain expression. You look at the gods, they have certain expressions. Why they are different changes in expressions? Because it is the projection of the artist. Now tell me, did the artist ever in life see Rama? Did they see Buddha? Did anyone see Christ? Was there photographs that time? Anyone drew that time? Nobody, no, there are no painters from that time also. The era before Christ, during Ram's time and all. Where did all these images come from? Projection, kalpana of the artist. And they will project not just the articulation, the face and features, they will even project the tendencies on the god. That is why you will see gods having different moods. So when I look at any picture of God, I don't know even if I know this mood of God, but I can certainly know what must have been the mood of that artist. So this is how even Shiva and Parvati are painted everywhere. That is because they have not investigated, they have not gone deeper, they have not gone to the higher truth of what the Shiva and Parvati is about, what is the Shiva and Shakti about, what is this Sat and Chit about. They have never investigated. They have only gone to the Puranas. Purana says stories. Stories are a depiction of the ultimate truth because it is impossible for these dull heads to catch that highest truth. Which is why when Parvati, the beloved, asks her beloved, the Lord, her husband, I want to know more about you. I want to come and merge back with you. Now I'm talking about divine love, the supreme love. Our love also is the same, isn't it? When we fall in love with anybody, do we stop there? Tell me. Then we talk all great things, unconditional love, blah, blah, blah. If unconditional love hai to ghar mein raho. Stay where you are. Why do you meet? Why do you want to meet, interact, get married, date, all that stuff? If you can't do that and still love, that's unconditional love. So if we can't do that, forget the title of unconditional love. That should be taken apart. So-called Valentine love. Inspect that. If Valentine love is true and it does not have impurity, but what is true love? What is true love? We talk about true love. Even these Valentines talk about सच्चा प्यार करता हूं, पूरे तन मन धन से प्यार करता हूं. I love you with my whole heart. For you, I can even pluck the stars. This guy who cannot pluck the flowers for his God's images, puja, from outside is talking about plucking stars. I'm not surprised about this guy speaking about. I'm surprised the girl believes. This is how one fall for each other. That is why they call falling in love. They both fall only. They cannot rise. They both fall flat. But I believe you have to fall multiple times. You have to fall in love again and again and again and again. Because one day the fall is like a crash. There you will rise in love. The real love. Your seeking will be towards the real. Because all this will crash. And these stories will continue again and again, again and again, till you have the major crash. That is why all the beloveds, especially on Valentine days, are never satisfied. Last year, if you see today's Valentine and all are exchanging roses and hugs and going for dates and all the parties and all that stuff. Beautiful. Sitting together watching the sunset. Valentine's Day. Happy Valentine's. Happy Valentine's. If you rewind their story to last year, same time, they were holding somebody else's hand, having the same experience. Wow, Valentine's. You are my Valentine. This is the craziness that we have. Again, I'm telling, I'm not against that. I am talking about why are we not able to see through this? Why are we masking it as true love, as divine love, unconditional love, supreme love? I have the highest love. There is nothing more than this. How much do you love me? This much. Infinite. Has this guy even got a glimpse of what is infinite? Because the moment your love expands to infinite, you will experience the ultimate love, not this finite loves. You cannot love the finite and call that infinite. How can you have infinite love for a finite? Because finite disappears. Now you might call your beloved, your opposite gender as beloved. You might call some people say, no, 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 no. Valentine's is not just that. People are only obsessed with all these vasanas. That's not love. Beloved, this beloved can be anybody. Valentine can be anybody. It can be my father, my mother, my brother, my sister, my student, my guru, my neighbor, my colleague. It can be anybody. My pet. Still, I'm saying that's not eternal, because all these what you named also will poof, go out one day. Your beloved will go one day. What will go? How are you claiming infinite love for that? When that finite is not going to be there, what is the object to be loved? Oh, I will love you for eternity, even after you go. Yeah, that is why Shah Jahan built that Taj Mahal. You can see his eternal love. He got married again. So if, for example, if Mumtaz had to come and ask him, what happened? You built this whole thing for me, monument for me, and you get married to another girl. Oh, I still love you unconditionally. Don't worry about it. My love is still there for you. For eternity. We say this. I've seen this when people obsessed with their family members. And one of my friend was in deep shock after his mother died. They were very together, very obsessed with each other, and he wouldn't do anything without her. So she was like her beloved, his beloved, all the time. And one day she passed away during the COVID time. And the shock was so bad because I used to try to tell him, good, love and all is good. But when you're talking 24 hours about somebody, and then you drop anything and run home, and then call it my dharma. I'm doing my matra dharma. Hey, you're obsessed. That's not dharma. Dharma you do without attachment, that's another thing. If you're obsessed, that's not your dharma, that's some karma that's playing its role. Some kind of karma that's playing its role. So he had a very bad time. Poor thing. He can't do anything. So I said, okay. I said, time will heal. He was very angry with me. What do you mean time will heal? This is something which is going to be eternal. You don't know what my mother meant to me. So don't say all these things. Means he didn't want to get over it. There are many people who don't want to get with their obsessions. And then 2 years passed post COVID. I met him last month. And for a couple of months, we have been going, roaming around and all those things. So I seem very joyful, not like 2 years back. So I asked him, what happened? You're looking, seeming to be very happy and joyful and everything. He said, what do you mean? I said, 2 years back, you said, this is my life. Because he had gone into literal depression. When I was trying to get him out, he said, no, this love can never fade away. It's eternal, forever. I said, where is that forever? It doesn't seem to be on your anywhere in your chitta. He thought about it for a while. He said, but I don't forget her. I have not forgotten. I said, I didn't say you forgot. But that expression, what you had, eternal love, Allah, infinite, that's not there today. You said, without a moment, I cannot live. She has passed away 3 months, but every single moment, every kshana, day and night, I remember her. I don't see that today in you. Can you recollect? He was quiet. He said, how many times today did you remember your mother? He thought about it and he said, in the morning when I did that agarbatti on the photo, I said, that's what love is. Whatever you proclaim will fade away. It's not eternal love. Something will replace it again and again. Check out your own lives. Something has always been replacing it. So this is not the ultimate supreme love. Now, what I'm referring to, that Satchit, that principle of yin yang, masculine, feminine, Shiv, Shakti, Sat, Chit, whatever you call it, that twin, the twin flame, not what the modern world has created, new phenomena of twin flames. That's also the same stuff only, not any different from beloved. Twin flame is inseparable and it can be anyone. And it just is the other half of you. That's supposed to be. That's how it's supposed to be, the twin flame. You'll see a lot in the Western world. They complete each other, they nurture each other. And not necessary, these twin flames are always in great love. No, they can have the greatest of fights. They can be completely against each other. What I'm trying to tell is each will indirectly, directly or indirectly support each other's spiritual evolution, even by a fight. It can be by a divorce. It can be by anything. They can be twin flames. So they have come to remind the other and take them and reach them there. That's the concept of twin flame. So everybody in today's world is searching the twin flame and mixing it up with soulmate. So soulmate, I don't see anything else other than a simple word that you can see in that mate. It's all about mating, dating and mating. Now what you have done is you have put a word called soul into it. That doesn't purify it. Because first of all, souls don't mate. Souls, what we are talking on the supreme level, masculine, feminine, Shiva and Shakti, are already mating each other. You cannot say they are going to mate today. You cannot make a claim that it will happen today. You cannot say that because it never separated. It is always together. It cannot be separated. That is the divine romance that I'm talking about. The Sat and Chit, which cannot be separated, which is eternal. It was there from the start. It is there and it will always continue to be there. That is what you call as supreme consciousness. Supreme consciousness has got two elements, the masculine and the feminine. The masculine is the ultimate stillness. which you can call as Shiva. This stillness does nothing. It's simply a witness and an observer. This stillness is simply aware. That's the masculine element. This feminine is deeply hidden in this masculine, merged as one. You can't see it until it does begin doing its activities. That is Shakti. The moment there is an activity, from that stillness, whatever activity happens, that noticeable activity is Shakti. It was there in it, like a whirlpool in the water. Where did it come from? It was there. Suddenly the water begins stirring, the still water. So water element is there, masculine, but this stirring, this energy movement is called Shakti, the feminine. Both complement each other. When the energy is moving around and doing whatever it has to do, the stillness is aware of that movement. That is why they say Shiva is only aware and Shakti is creating. This whole Shrishti has been created by Shakti out of nothingness. That nothingness is the Shiva Tattva. Nothingness simply means still. Whenever anything is still, it comes to a state of nothing. It's not doing anything. No more doership. That doership comes from Shakti. It is not Shiva. Shiva is simply still. From that rises the energy called Shakti and it begins creating. And together there is a great experience. The Shiva is simply experiencing everything through love. That's called divine love. That's called unconditional love. Mind you, do not use this word anywhere else. If you use it anywhere else, it's false, because all the love I've seen everywhere in my life is conditional, whoever it is. I can see and sense unconditional love here. I'm sitting here in Ganeshpuri. I know if I do charity around here in the name of Baal Bhojan or some great seva, or I do worship here, I go in the pandal and do worship, or there is a palki going, I follow the palki, I sing bhajan sankirtans, or like there was a homam here, I sit in the homam and do that homam. So I am doing these things. I'm aware that it's a nice place to do. That is why I do here. So that tattva called Nityananda, that consciousness, is aware of it. At the same time, if I'm sitting here and not doing anything, I'm just still, it is aware of it. On the other end, I'm going around hurting people, kicking dogs, throwing waste everywhere, creating nuisance all. I drink here, booze here. That consciousness is aware of it. Nityananda doesn't do anything. Are you getting it? Still, a drunkard person, if he's sitting, boozed, and giving some bad words, and he looks at a photo of Nityananda, and one kshana, he falls in love with it. Because he knows, let's say he knows this place, he knows Nityananda, but he has forgotten. He has taken another form. But now in that booze, he's looking at that photo and simply smiling and feeling that love. Do you think Nityananda, that consciousness will say, hey, you're a boozer, I don't accept that love, which is full of booze? No way. Immediately that consciousness will wrap around him and he will have that experience of Nityananda. That is unconditional love. So it's very difficult. It's easy to talk. It's not possible. That's what I'm trying to tell you. When you try to romance with the divine, you will receive nothing but unconditional love. You try to romance in the world, you will receive nothing but conditional love. It's all based on conditions. All your worldly love, all your Valentine love is based on conditions, guaranteed. Let two Valentine meet today. They must be meeting here. Meeting, dating, mating, everything must be going on everywhere. Now, if they are professing their true love, and if somebody wants to experience, just let that person not provide what they are supposed to provide today. It might be a handshake, it might be a glance at each other, it might be a food offer that you're giving, it might be a drink, it might be a dance, or it might be the bedroom. Whatever that is, even small gesture. Let's say I refuse to do that, and my Valentine is sitting in front of me, and now I'm supposed to take out that diamond ring, and I don't take it out. Now I'm forget diamond ring. Now I'm supposed to take out that rose, and I don't take it out. I do nothing, and I sit there like a Dumbo. Do you think that love that is coming from the other end will be the same? No way. It's going to change, because that condition, that love that that person is offering you is out of condition that you better give it. You better give me what I am begging for, consciously or unconsciously. I am a beggar. Fill me with that. If you don't fill me, I'm going to get wild at you. What is breakup? After all these Valentines have, almost all end up in breakups only. Why? Because what they are seeking, if they find it, that's done with it. They will move apart. If they got what they want from the other, if they get it, they will move apart. They will also move apart if they did not get what they want. Conditional love. This is incomparable to the supreme love. The God's love is so unconditional, it never judges you. The God's love is so unconditional, whether you do a homam, or go into a temple and roll around, whether you do charity or not, whether you sing praises to that Lord, praise the Lord, or do Shivastuti, it doesn't bother. You close your eyes in stillness, it will wrap you, and you will have divine romance. It's one with you, it's united, and that bliss follows. That bliss that cannot be experienced in this world. That is what this Mala does to us. That is what this Maya does to us. The projection does to us. Because whenever you look around, I've explained this before, I'm explaining it a little more simplistically. Why I said there is a divine romance going within you. Why can't you see it? I, the functioner, am Shakti. What you see here, this body is Shakti. This is the outcome of Shakti. Shakti has created it because Shakti wants to create. Manifest. I said, no? I come here, I take this body. Who's I? I is Shakti. I, the ego. Ego moves. Ego has desires. Ego wants to fulfill. Who does not have anything? Who's the opposite? The masculine. Shiva is simplicity. And there is Shakti merged in it. You don't know. So if this Shakti has a desire to move out, it simply moves out and projects itself outside. And there the activity begins. That beginning of activity is called as the separation point. What do you call as Bindu? In Srividya, the whole story has started now. There is no cosmos. In the Bible, you can see. In the start, there was nothingness, only darkness. And then there was light. That light is ego. Shakti began activity. This light can be seen in Vedas also. It can be seen in Quran also. the first. And the Bible says, and then there was the word. What is word? Sound. That is told in the Vedas also. Pranav mantra. It was still, it was silent. The love, the divine romance is in silence. It's Satchidananda. Suddenly, when the Shakti activates from it, because of that desire to experience, the moment it separates, it has got an identity. That identity is what is called as ego. When it is one, Satchitananda, it has no identity. It looks all one. It's all one. That oneness is divine romance going on there. The moment it separates, it has an identity. The moment it has an identity, there is a Shiva, there is a Shakti. There are two identities. Now, Shakti is what? It has separated for a reason and it will complete. Separated to go and create. That's how the whole creation concept is. It rolls down. The whole concept rolls down. The whole Srishti began from there, from the Bindu, everything started, and all these vibrations and then dimensions and all these were created. And we are one of that, Prithvi Loka. There are many other lokas, 7 dimension up and 7 dimension down. These are all the holographic projection that came out of nothingness. That is why you see the Mahameru from the Bindu, it has expanded. You shrink it back like this, it goes back to the source and merges back. So, whenever there is this so-called creation, it is said a temporary withdrawal of these both, though it is not out, because when you move out also, this is still connected, okay? Shiva Tattva is connected, because without the experiencer in all this creation, it's pointless. Whatever is created, even if there is a Patal Loka created, the hell is created by the Shakti, there is a Shiva experiencing that also in that. That union cannot be separated. But only thing is, it is not in the purest form now. When they are experiencing each other, that is called the purest love. That is when you call Pralay. The Shakti goes out and creates everything and is then now busy in sustaining. That is where the 3 departments begin. Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh. Brahma, the creator. Vishnu sustains whatever has been created. And finally, when the game is done, boredom is done, the Shiva breaks it down. The Rudra breaks it down, and everything that has been created shrinks back. And that is called Pralaya, or the Mahakala, or the last judgment, the last day, the final day. Everything merges back. Merges back to what? Into its originality of nothingness. All the sounds that has been created, the noise, the first noise in that silence is Pranav Mantra. So it might sound very holy. Pranav Mantra is very holy, but not from this point. Even that sound is the creator of all the other sound. Pranav Mantra started, all the other words came out. You and me are all result of vibrations. We are all atomic vibrations. Science has found it out. Everything is vibrations. Everything is particles. It's all transmuting itself. It's changing its nature, that's all. And taking form. E is equal to mc squared. Albert Einstein. Energy creates matter. All this matter that you see is nothing but energy. This is that same. That energy is Shakti. But in every energy, in everything that is created from that energy, there is the Shiva present, silently witnessing. That is where the experience is going on. That Shiva's experience with Shakti is perfect in the purest form, but when a form takes place, the Shiva is still there with it. It is still experiencing the Shakti in the form. If you have understood till here, it's very clear. That is the reason they say, you are Shiva and Shakti. Shiva is within you when they say, this creation, which has stumbled down from there, Shakti has created this body, this cannot be absent with the Shiva. Shiva is there in this. as the experiencer. Why? This Shiva is experiencing my life quietly, no judgment. So whether I am with this body or I am without the body, Shiva experiences me, the energy, the I, the false I. That is why all the mystics are saying, have Valentine within. I, the Shakti, have forgotten I'm creating it outside. And why am I creating it outside? I'm going outside and outside. Punarbi Janmam, Punarbi Maranam. Why so many lifetimes? Because the moment I separate, the Shakti is busy creating, but it is missing that pure element of love. Now it starts seeking in whatever it's creating to get a completion. The absence of that pure one, because you're looking outside, projecting here, the attention has gone from this to outwardly and in the creation. So when you're creating, you're trying to find love there so that you can fill this gap and feel that completeness. That is what's happening to you and me. Because we project outside, we create all these external things. We are hunting for love, we are hunting for completion, all outside, so that we can have that one blissful feeling. What happens in sex? Why are two people? That's why I said, when if two people fall in love and they call it unconditional love, let them stay apart. They will not stay apart. They want to meet and mate. Why? Because there is a strong, strong pull to experience the bliss. And where do you get that bliss? In your sexual orgasms. When you're in the peak of your orgasm, both of them, male and female, there is an explosion of that is Satchidananda, mind you. That's not dirty. Shiva Sutras, Vijnana Bhairav Tantra. It is told as dirty, but that experience, that explosion which happens, Shiva explains as the blissful experience of Satchidananda. But unfortunately, because it is a temporary object that you are uniting with, the experience is temporary. It falls off within a few seconds. So when it falls off within a few seconds, what happens? There is a sense of contentment, and immediately there is no that strange pull. That pull disconnects. Have you noticed it? It disconnects. After that, you if you are eternally in love, why don't you remain together forever and ever? You can't. Because once that both unite together and the energy matches up with that stillness, the Shivatva, Shakti and the Shiva within, they both meet each other and complement, and the circuit is complete. There is an explosion, and that explosion gives a divine bliss. But because the body is temporary, the experience are temporary, it withdraws. The whole experience drops. And when it drops, you lose interest also. For a moment, you want to separate. For some time, you just want to separate. And then you carry on. What happened? So that is why these are called as the temporary experiences, temporary love, though they are real. So in Shiva Sutra, Vijnana Bhairav Tantra, Shiva explains this is also one way to reach me. If at the time of explosion, extreme, that orgasmic explosion, if you meditate on the self, not outwardly now, you move that inwardly because you have created the whole atmosphere to go very close to your soul, the Shiva Tattva. Otherwise, it's very difficult. So, this is being told to the Grahasthas who are in marriage. He says, you don't have to lose an opportunity and say, oh, I'm a married, I won't get Shiva. No, use this also there, because they are also, you're preparing for the same. And in that moment of explosion, you are meditating on the self, you will be in samadhi. But because we do not know of all these things, because these are taboo subjects, it's not talked about, we misunderstand this whole sexual act. It can go in the other way, that people can get fanatic and start doing this in the name of mating with their soul, which is also not going to happen, because these are meditative practices. Both the meditative partners have to be aware of what this tattva is. So it cannot be used for lustful purpose. It will not happen. So Osho was one guy who experimented with the 112 methods told in Vigyan, Bhairav Tantras, and 3 of the methods are this. So he didn't only do that, okay? Just like he experimented with everything, there will be whirling dance. You dance, you whirl, that energy, which is so outwardly, it dissipates. Turn, and it loses its this outwardly projection, because the energy is now propelling inside. What happens? That Sufi dancer also, like in Garba, the purpose of Garba was this. Now it's got polluted. That roundness. When you are going round, you are connecting with your beloved. And you have that ecstasy. You go into Samadhi. You can see the Sufis. They are in Samadhi. Where is that from? Vigyan Bhairav Tantra. Shiva is only giving this methods for having a divine romance. It is not the worldly. He's telling, make use of the world, no problem, because you are stuck in the world. But I exist there also. The Shakti exists there also. That's not different. This cannot be claimed as good, bad, ugly, whatever. It only says, make use of all the opportunities, whatever you can, or 1 or 2 opportunities, whichever appeals to you, because find out the method to go within and connect to that. So that's why I said there is no problem with outward. I'm not against this. I don't want to be fanatic and say this is all against dharma, what people are doing, this nonsense. Who cares? I'm not even provoking, not even discouraging, nor encouraging, nor discouraging. But I'm trying to tell, if somebody is understanding the realities and using the world or whatever experiences they have, because everybody has come to experience, I told in the start. Everything is an experience, but if they use that experience to transcend the outward romance, they will get into the inward romance. So it can be even with your child. The love that you feel with your child, the love that you feel with your friend, if you internalize it, you can use that object outside to internalize the same love. Now, when Parvati is asking Shiva in one of the final texts, Parvati has asked Shiva. One second. Parvati asks Shiva, I want to come back to you. So why does she say that? In Devi Kalotra, she says that, oh Lord, I want to come back to you and stay with you, means merge with you, because that now Shakti is realizing what I tried in the creation is it's not complete. So finally, after all the experience of Srishti, after the whole experience happens, how many millions of years, whatever you call it, finally it returns back because it's done with the experience. And it says, oh Lord, I want to come back to you. I want to merge with you. I want to become one with you. And the first immediate condition, you can say, Shiva says, because without that, you cannot go to what she's trying to. He says, become still. First, become still, sit down and listen to me. Listen to what I say. That's what I said. If we are not still, we cannot catch these words. And what is Shiva talking? Who is Shiva? I told you now, that whole thing, it's me only, the Shiva experiencing. Who's Shakti? This whole body. Whatever I do, I'm talking now. Shakti is activated now. Shakti is doing the work. Shiva is not. Shiva is just an observer. Shiva is aware of whatever I do without judgments. What Shakti does is what you call as free will, and it has its own consequences. I do good, I receive good. I do bad, I receive bad. Call the karmic patterns. But Shiva is not bothered. He experiences that goodness, karma phala, and the badness also karma phala without judgment. That is why when people say, where is Shiva sleeping? When there is COVID, when there is natural disaster, so many things happening, God is not answering. He's not bothered because you created it. You are having your own dance. You are having your own drama. You, the Shakti, are going on creating. You are taking your free will. You are deciding and you are facing the consequences of that. It is what you came to experience. I slap somebody and then I want to experience how that slap is. I come back again and take the slap from him. What has Shiva got to do in this? That's how the whole karma runs. That stillness, Shiva doesn't do anything. The Shiva that you are confused with is the one with the form. But that comes much after Shakti has begun the work. Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh. You are talking about Mahesh. What I am talking is the Parabrahman, Parashiva, Paramashiva, Parabhairava, the nothingness, the one without form. So when I say Shiva, don't bring a form. That is wrong. Shiva is Nirguna, Nirakara, no Akara. How can you give him a form? All your forms are the other department, Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh, which comes a later part of that. So what I'm talking is that Nirguna Nirakara, which is pure consciousness. And Shakti is this energy. So when I say Parvati, when I say Mauma, Maheshwari, anything like that, these are all the names given to energy. The conscious energy that's coming out from that stillness, whatever you name it. Because people cannot understand what I'm telling right now. This whole thing about stillness, consciousness, they had to give it name. Still, it was difficult. Upanishad tried to explain it. Still very difficult. Agam Nigam Shastra, very difficult. Cannot understand why. Then came Puranas. Okay, let's make story out of it. Then different story to explain that. Multiple stories. Deep about life and all this aspect. Now, because I cannot catch that, what did I catch? I caught the stories. And all the people in the character roles, all the people playing the roles which were supposed to identify with higher truths, you caught them. You started worshipping the characters in the roles, but you missed the secret translation of that, the meaning of that. So it's easy to get lost in these things. That is why in Vijnana Bhairav Tantra, when Ma Parvati, the beloved, is sitting with Shiva and saying, "Oh Lord, I'm confused about your nature. Sometimes you are worshipped as Ardhanareshwara. Sometimes you are worshipped as Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh. Sometimes you are the energy in the Kundalini. You are the Kundalini itself. Sometimes you are in the chakras. There are so many concepts about you. There are so many, different varieties. Which is your form? Who are you?" Parvati asks Shiva. And Shiva explains. All these are nothing but concepts. Anything, everything and anything, all the stories, all the mythology that you are catching so dearly, it's all mere concepts. And this is meant for mandabuddhis. This is all meant, all these concepts are meant for the dull-minded, because they cannot fathom what I am, what is my nature. And that's what I'm trying to explain, that nature. Very difficult to catch that. So if you can't catch that, then you catch concepts. Because, okay, take a concept and begin to reach me. So people catch concept. The problem is they catch concept and they get lost. Asli tattva reh gaya. So when that happens, then people like Ramana are all installed by that Shiva only. It's all the play of that consciousness only. They come and that Swarupa, the Shakti gets into them. They began doing something called Leela. Then they start explaining the higher tattvas through mystics like these, like Nityananda. Higher truths are told by these mystics because nobody can translate. Very difficult. Then they come and they start living and they exhibit the qualities and attributes of that God which you're talking. And then you say, oh my God, there's something else. There is a godly person. So we call him Bhagwan Ramana, Bhagwan Nityananda. They are God. Now, they did not come here and say, I am God, worship me. Come and fall at my feet, keep coconuts on my leg, keep flowers in my leg, put photos everywhere in your house, put lockets in your neck and worship me. They never said it. This is our incapability, this is our insecurity that we start worshipping them. Good, because you are at least beginning to worship someone that is leading you to the ultimate. That's good. That worship is much better than worshipping the world. It's much better than worshipping that lady or that gentleman in your wallet, the photo in your wallet. That is also worship only. You know, you keep images of your family everywhere and you worship it. You keep the images of your beloved in your purses and worship it. You keep on your wall screensaver, your computer screensaver, your beloveds and worship it. You're worshiping it. Every time you look at it, you're meditating on it. That is why Laila Majnu story is like that. Because the way, if somebody can intensively meditate on Laila, if Majnu can intensively meditate on Laila, and if that love just turns towards divine, gone, like Meera. Meera began with outwardly love. Her beloved was Krishna. But the moment she had that intense love, like what you have intense for the world, so extreme, like my friend I said, my mother. If that same love is channeled towards the ultimate, toward the self, that person will have it like this. But it's gone in the wrong direction. And the moment that person tries to grasp it, that is gone. It's gone. And then you're disappointed. Oh, इतना मेहनत किया. एक बच्चे को पाल पोछ के बड़ा किया. I made him big. And there he goes with his beloved. He found a girl and he has run off. And he was your beloved. And that boy has gone behind that girl, following that girl. And that girl is in love with somebody else. So this person has gone there and got married to so and so. And then he comes to know, oh, she's already with someone. Oh God, another disappointment. This can go on. That girl can go and fall in love with someone and then know that person is already married. Oh my God. Chain reaction. This is how Raja Bhartrihari, his great king, madly in love with his divine, with his lover, his wife, very beautiful wife. Madly in love. And one day he finds out that the wife, the queen, is having an affair with one of the person in the kingdom, in the royal kingdom, and some servants. Immediately all his love goes into air. He realizes the truth of life, whom he called his beloved, gave his whole life, meditated on her day and night, on her image, on her saundarya, on her features. Everything was shattered. Where did he go? He left his house and went to Devas, Madhya Pradesh. That is where I had gone to meet the saints of Vishnu Tirth Maharaj, who wrote about Mahaleshwari. And then I come to know Vishnutirth Maharaj has also written about Raja Bhartrihari. These are untold stories which he saw with his third eye, like Mahaleshwari. Many of the things are not written about Raja Bhartrihari. He was a brother of the Vikram Betal guy. And he ruled Nagaur, Rajasthan. So he left there and he went and he did his tapasya because suddenly he was away by that jolt, that Valentine gone. Truth frustrated him, broke down, and we have to break down. That is why we have continuous failures, experiences, we have disappointment, suicidal tendencies, depression. What are they trying to tell you? You are hunting in the wrong place. None of your beloved stays. Everybody will go one by day, and one day you will question, where are all the beloveds that I loved so much? And that is the time Raja Bhartrihari said, where is it? And when he said, where is it? He found it. He came to know it's none other than inside. Now he came to know he had made an obstacle. He has to clean it up. That's why he went to Devas and meditated there for years. And then he realized his true beloved. Then later his wife came and apologized and all those things and all that. He said, he blessed them. He said, no, carry on. I'm happy for both of you. You do whatever you want to do. I bless you with all my heart. Because of you, I have known the truth. That's the reality of life. Happy Valentine's Day to all of you. And ये सुनने से नहीं होगा. You'll not believe. You have to experience this. And that experience will come sooner or later. Maybe in this Janma or some Janma or another Janma or another, but it will come. And when it comes, you will start seeking the real beloved, like Meera, like Mahalaleshwari. Mahalaleshwari left in search of that beloved like mad. Why? Because all our outside beloveds are all horrible. Horrible means what? Unbelievable. Because her Bodha is so high, her awareness is so high. In one lifetime, she sees her son, who's her beloved, fully in love with that beloved, and then she dies. That son grows up. And Mahalaleshwari takes another birth. She's aware of it. She's taken as Mahalaleshwari in Kashmir. And she's shocked when she sees this boy has grown up and standing in front of her house to get married to her. Beloved, another beloved standing there. Now she's confused. Which beloved? Beloved as my child or beloved as my husband? Both the same souls. When she tells this to her husband is devastated. Later, after she leaves the house and goes, she's shocked. He's shocked. And he gives her, she gives him this experience, this vision to see what happened. And he's in tears. And he falls at his feet and says, I'm sorry. I didn't know this. You're like a mother to me. And now I've married. I didn't know this. She said, it's okay. You don't know. Everybody is going through this, she said. They don't know. They don't know they are playing with the same dolls here and there. Every Janma, they come, roles are exchanged, and they fall in love with this, they fall in love with that, this and that, this and that. Same story is going until they awaken. Until they awaken and try now check out who's their true beloved. Like Mahalaleshwari and people like that. They got mad. They started striving to find where is that beloved. And you can see the poems that Mahalaleshwari has written for Shiva, whom she calls the beloved. You can see the poems of Akka Mahadevi, someone saint like her only, who used to roam nude here in Karnataka. Akka Mahadevi. Read her poems. Read the poems of Meera. All external love gone. Because these are the people who have come close to the realization of supreme love. That love which is eternal and will always be there. That experience of Satchidananda. Because we miss out the same story. Shakti turned, it moved aside and it's creating and it's trying to experience completeness. We are only that Shakti. Because Vimukh ho gaya. From within, I've turned my face outside. So all that I see is outside. But I miss that that divine romance, of that blissfulness, all the time blissfulness. That is why, dear ones, we are all the time trying to meditate. Why is this urge coming? I must meditate. I must, wherever I go, I must meditate. You are trying to have the divine romance back, have that experience of samadhi, that blissfulness, because the outward world is not giving you. This is what's happening subconsciously. Why are people getting more and more into spiritual practice? They are striving, yearning for that permanency. They see the temporariness of world. So the Shivatva within us arises. The Shakti realizes that it's there, and it turns within. When it turns within, that is called being antarmukhi. Bahimukhi, you create. So nothing is wrong. You cannot say, Bahimukhi, is it wrong? No, it's Shakti creating itself to have an experience. Let it have an experience. Shiva also has no problem. It is also aware and having an experience. So you go and experience in the Bhoga. There is the Shiva Tattva always experiencing you unconditionally, not judging you. That is why Shiva doesn't correct. When you say, no, I want to have an extramarital affair, it will not come and stand there. No, according to Dharma, you shouldn't do it. So go and experience. But there are consequences. Experience that. I will experience that. So wherever you are free will, you can. Outwardly you go, that unconditional love of Shiva is there, always with you. Inward you go, the unconditional love is there. But outward you go, you will find the Shiva Tattva hidden in all these physicalities. Inward you go, you will directly go to the Shiva Tattva. You don't need objects. That is why when we catch all these different objects, concepts, why are we craving to them? ये path मिल गया, ये guru मिल गए, ये object मिल गया, ये tantra मिल गया, ये vidya मिल गई. You are catching everything. एक पुराण मिल गया, एक शास्त्र मिल गया, एक धर्म मिल गया. I got something. What you are trying to experience in something, this completeness. But you will know that no dharma, no purana, no shastra, no guru, no path, no religion, no yantra tantra mantra can give you that completion. It is simply a concept to make you antarmukhi, because the worldly objects will make you completely bahimukhi. But when these divine concepts come, like the guru comes or somebody comes, suddenly you are using the same obsession. Look at the same thing I'm telling you. The same way you look at somebody, your father figure, your lover, your something with an expectation, you look at your guru also with an expectation. Oh, inke sanidhya mein I feel completeness. What is happening? You are same thing, but you are objectifying it. So that is how you get enclutched with the body of the guru, with the scriptures, with the techniques, with the method, with the concepts, with the theories, with the philosophies, with beliefs, with the religions, with dharma, this, that, everything is there. Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh, Pranav mantra. And Shiva says, I am not your Pranav mantra, I am not Ardhanareshwara, I am not Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh. These are all concepts for Mandabuddhi. Those who cannot fathom my real nature. So it's good. Instead of Bhayamukhi, because bahar dhunte, ye sab bahar hi milta. All these yantra, tantra, mantra, guru, everybody appears outside only. You fall in love with the same tendency, but that is a net, that is a catch to turn you within. Whenever you now start falling in love with these Bhayamukhi objects, divine objects, you start now your yatra towards, because they will reflect dharma, shastra, guru, yantra, tantra, mantra. They will all reflect and make you turn eventually within. They have a different purpose, but come in the Bahimukhi, because I am Bahimukhi. That is called Anugraha Shakti. That comes to bless me and take me back to that self. And when that succeeds, this is called Salamba. Salam yoga. I catch this yoga, I catch that yoga, Salam yoga, all these concepts, everything, guru, everything. And when I'm ready, when I'm at the peak, when I'm purified, and now ready to understand Shiva Tattva, he says that was for Mandabuddhi concepts. If you have gone beyond the Mandapan, beyond that dullness, and if you're ready, throw the concepts away. The work is over. That is what he says, become Nirlamba. In Devi Kalotra, he says, do not meditate on this anymore. Do not do bhajan sankirtan. Do not offer oblations to your pitrus. Do not do havans. Do not do this. He says very clearly, don't do this. To whom? To those who are ready now. It's not for everybody. For Mandbuddhi, do it, he says. And my job here is to fill that gap, the transition. People who are in the transition. Because I was in the transition, I experienced it for decades. And perhaps that is what the work that is given to me. That transition, those who are in the transition, they're scared. Nirlamba. How to let go. Oh, this is my very divine concept. I have to hold on it. No. If you hold on to that, you are with that. You cannot dive into the self. That is why in Devi Kalotra, Shiva says, only those seekers who with the arrow of Shunya Bhava who can penetrate from Patal Loka to the Shakti can only reach me. Shunya Bhava means no Bhava, Nirbhava. No attention to all these concepts. Any loka, from Pitraloka, from Pataloka to any loka, Pitraloka, Swargaloka, Siddhaloka, Meherloka, Brahmaloka, whatever all these lokas, if you're not interested, not even the Shakti, if you're just in me, they will attain me. That is why he says that. And this is not for everybody. Everybody should not attempt it. If it is too scary, then you go through the tools. You fall in love. Make love with your yantra, tantra, mantra. Let your guru be the beloved till you learn it. When the time comes, it will happen. Automatically, it will happen. This is not done by anybody. I am just giving you the wisdom. So when the time comes, you are clear. You don't have shocks. Oh my God, what is this? Something is happening to me. Many people tell me this today also. Bhaiya, something is happening. I'm feeling very scared. This is not happening. That is not happening. But I am sitting in silence. I can go just into silence. I'm not feeling like doing any meditation. But I can sit somewhere in silence. I want to be in silence. I'm meditative. I cannot do japa anymore. I said, don't worry. It is an evolutionary phase. Then I give them the documents. Look here, Upadesh Saram. Look at Devi Kalotra. Look at Vigyan Bhairav Tantra. These are all explained. These blink clarity. You need not worry. All these things are falling off. Let them fall off. Why is the suffering coming? Where are you scared? Because you are trying to hold that which is falling. It's very painful. That is the one final dark moments of every seeker. One final phase, that is. You can call it as a dark night of the soul. One final phase. When that phase is over, you are done with it. You move higher. You move towards Nirlamba. You are in that space. You have dropped everything, and that is called true surrender. Teri raja mein meri raja. Because you have understood. Okay, you have taken care of me. You have brought me till here. And the Lord says, you dive. I'm there to catch you. Oh, I can't dive. I can't leave this concept. I can't. Because you are nothing. What is Shiva? Nothingness. You mean I dive into this nothingness? Hare Baba, I need something. I will hold on to all these things. So hold on. No problem. But when these starts burning you, you're catching poles and all this. So if the pole becomes hot, what will you do? You want to leave, but you're doing all this tandav there. So till you burn, and finally give and learn to have that plunge. And when you fall, then you say, oh my God, this is the safest place. This is the safest place. And I thought that is safe. That was safe because one thing you catch, and if that goes, you don't know what to do. I see many times a guru is there, they're very happy, they're holding on to that, latke hue. And suddenly the guru moves, you don't know where to do. You catch on somebody else. Another guru, somebody. The people come to catch me, I say, go away, get lost. आसमान से गिरा खजूर में अटका से हो जाए, खजूर पर क्यों अटक रहे हो? ये लटकने का चल रहा है. I make them aware. What you're trying to grasp is this. Don't. All that objects are moving for a purpose. ये चटके लग के छोड़ना पड़ता है आपको. Because everything that you see outside is temporary. Whatever you call that. Everything is temporary. So until if you don't learn that, life will slowly teach us and get us out of that. But it's okay. Is it wrong? No, it's not wrong. Experience. Enjoy the journey. whether it is clutching to your beloved lover or clutching to your beloved guru's body or some yantra, tantra, mantra or some concept. Clutch on, hang on, experience that also. Nobody's telling leave. I'm not telling leave, mind you. I'm telling become aware of this and experience. Then you will not have fear. And when the experience is over, automatically you will return. Shakti has returned. What are you? She also fed up one day and she said, "Hey Pranna, tell me how can I come to you?" And Shiva says, "First, Nischal, sit down, settle. Because what I'm going to tell you will not understand. How to reach me only I'm telling you. But if you're chanchal, you will go and create another." That's what I say when we sit in satsang. Be nischala, otherwise nothing will happen. एक कान से सुनोगे दूसरे कान से निकल जाएगा. No use at all. It's a time pass for you. But those who are sitting completely meditative on this satsang, I guarantee you, you will receive only this. Guarantee you. You are very close to receiving those, because what you are seeking in that because that is your commitment. You cannot fool consciousness. Your commitment is what you do. If you are ekagrita in seeking the truth, mind you, 100% will come and fall in your lap. But if you are scattered, little here, little there, doing, that's why I said today mic was on. Somebody is talking, somebody is doing that, somebody is doing that. And time pass, another spiritual circus. Nothing is going to happen. Well, is that wrong? No. Enjoy the circus. Everything is fine. Wherever we are, it's all fine. Whichever stage we are all fine. Because everything that you do, always remember the Shivatva in you is watching you. It will not judge you when you say watching. Oh my God, Shiva is watching me. What will he think? He doesn't think. You just be aware. There is a self that is illumined, that is aware. So first I, the ego, the Shakti, the mind, I learned this. Oh my God, there's something called Shiva. Okay, I learned the concept. Now I start and train myself to shift into that awareness. The mind is shifting into awareness and it is becoming aware of everything. Okay, there is a beloved there. Oh, so this is the reality. There is a beloved there. Yantra, tantra, mantra, the gurus, the body, and everything, the photos, all these things. Even the photos of ascended masters, as just an object. I become aware of it. So it's a photo. Are they in the photo? No. They're right here. So why am I looking at the photo? Because I'm Bhayamukhi. So I learn from there. So it's not wrong to have photos also, but you become aware of it. And slowly, as you start turning within, then you'll know. Finally, it's here. And the day you turn beautifully within, you'll simply lose interest in all these concepts. Mind you, when I talk so much about this removing concept, I did not sit removing it. Mind you, I'm telling you. Very clearly, I'm telling, I did not do tapas to remove the concepts. It slowly faded away. It went away with the mala. Whatever tapas you do, whatever sadhana you do, it will help you in clearing this. So it automatically, what is not for your highest good will slowly start leaving you. And what will be left is close to nothingness. Somethingness, when it reduces, last is nothingness. So what are we telling here? You don't actually have to do anything also. If you're simply aware, you can become aware of that somethingness. And the day you completely turn within, then all your practice is nothing but keeping your attention on the self. Suddenly the Shakti will become chanchala and it will turn there. Shiva will not judge and say, hey, why are you becoming that? And say, go experience. So it goes and as one ouch again. And gets a bite, turns towards Shiva. Shiva is available. Oh Lord, I want to come back to you. Nischala. First become Nischala and listen to me. It doesn't listen, I can go, enjoy. Because Shiva is there everywhere. No conditions attached. This will go on again and again. So what are we as practitioners? Now, shifting into awareness, we have become aware. So momentary we are inside. And sometimes Vasana pulls us outside, we take outside. Okay, no problem. Then one day we'll have ouch. I see many people not gayab for 2-3 weeks or something. What happened? Oh, nothing. This is a responsibility. That this they're gone, and they have an ouch. They remember, and then they say, "We want to do one session." Come sit. Then when they sit, they will be chanchala. They'll be moving around. Then I say, silence. Sit down. Settle down for the satsang. Are you saying? Is it any different from Devi Kalotra? Nischal ho jao. Then only you listen and listen carefully. Smaran karo. Then only you will catch me. But hota nahi hai. Satsang may be chanchal. You'll run. Okay, run. So you can see how this is a beautiful translation. Shiva is not there. This is all me. The Shiva is me, myself. And this Shakti aspect of me, my ego is the Shakti. The only thing is, there is awareness tattva. When my awareness goes into Shakti, I start believing that I am Jake. And I start acting, I'm a father, mother, husband, wife, boss, slave, all that thing. I become that. The moment I shift from there to here, I know my true nature. Oh, this is who I am. This is who am I? Who am I? I'm Shiva. And you are subsiding in that experience. The longer you keep this experience, the more you become Shiva, which you are. You realize I'm Shiva. The more you're outwardly, you become. So, simply if you ask me day to night, how will I know where I am and how much of Shivatva has been activated? Just watch your activity from morning to evening. How much were you with Shiva consciousness and how much were you in ego mind consciousness scattered in this world? That is your evolution. Clear cut. Happy Valentine's Day to all of you. Ajay ji, I'm done with. If anybody has any questions, they can.
Yes, 1 minute. I will unmute. सब लोग अनम्यूटेड ही हैं, आई थिंक. किसको पूछना है तो वो पूछ सकते हैं. Anybody wants to ask any question? Are you able to unmute yourself?
मैसेज आया है, सवाल पूछना है.
जी पूछिए. आपका आवाज स्लो मोशन में आ रहा है. कुछ समझ में नहीं आया. आपका आवाज बहुत स्लो मोशन में आ रहा है. आई थिंक नेटवर्क इशू है. ओके, आई थिंक somebody has sent some messages here also. No, आपकी आवाज नहीं आ रही है. I don't know who's speaking. I don't know who's speaking, but I can't hear you anything.
हेलो. हाँ. यस, किसी को कुछ पूछना है पूछ सकते हैं.
हेलो.
यस, बोलिए.
Yeah, please go ahead.
हाँ सर, आपका ये तो एवरी टाइम फंटास्टिक होता है. एज इफ मैं ऐसा देख रहा हूँ कि आप मेरे सामने बैठे और मुझे इंडिविजुअली मुझे गाइड कर रहे हैं. वंडरफुल.
बिल्कुल.
तो आई जस्ट आई हैव एंड दिस इज द प्लेस वेयर वी clear our confusions. We are very open here, you know. So I want to just understand, Miss, what you said about the bliss, Shiva, Parvati. So this is all our belief systems, right? We go by our belief systems.
Yes.
So this love has got nothing to do with any religion or anything, right? It is a human beings. So just like we are all animals, okay? So this sex instinct will be there, no, in every animal.
Yes.
So that means a man and woman are necessary, na, for ultimately bliss. That's my confusion. Like means the people who are sannyasis and then people who are grosthas. So because so what is the difference? Like both can have a bliss at the same time.
No, that's all fine. Belief is nothing but ignorance. There is nothing wrong with the belief. But sooner or later, one realizes, like many of you here also, I've seen in your journey, these are all die-hard concepts, but over a period of time, people have just shelled it out. Not because I told, because they have started experiencing the truth. So, if somebody is a grahastha, if somebody is a sannyasi, who becomes a grahastha, who becomes a sannyasi? The one who wants to outwardly experience that love or that experience itself goes into the world and can become a grahastha. The one who has had enough experiences in multiple lifetimes and that person is fed up now and wants to go within is a sannyasi. Simple like that. But what Shiva is saying here is whether you are in the brahmacharya, whether you are in the sannyasa, vanaprastha or grahastha, you can still realize that tattva of who I am. That is why I said even in Tantra that Grahastha also has been given sadhana to experience through the bodies only, through those relationships only, but you can go to the ultimatum. So that's not denied. No experience is denied. We must live our life completely, but we must live it in awareness so that I know how to find that love in here.
What
Does
will
that
be the
explain?
disadvantages of the unconditional love? Because I find sometimes there are many disadvantages also of the unconditional love. People take you for granted, and then your
No,
time
then
is wasted.
no,
Uh,
no,
so it is
no.
not practical. It is not
No,
practical
no, no,
for the
no. When you see, that's the problem. When you
growth to
call that
have
unconditional love,
unconditional love.
no. There's a problem when you term it as unconditional love and you say, I'm disappointed. It is a conditional love when you're disappointed. It cannot be unconditional. That we are believing it is unconditional love. See, in unconditional love means whether you hurt me, whether you care for me, whether you tell this, whether you take advantage or disadvantage, I still love you. That's what I'm telling. We have not come to that godly kind of, unconditional love. So it's not right to take that name. That's why I was saying. Apart from Shiva and these avadutas, like Nityananda, Ramana, and people like that, Swami Samartha and all, Shirdi Sai Baba, I have not seen. And some living avadutas like Siddhapaji, Prakashananda, Amma, Talasheri Amma. I've seen all these people. You do anything, they're still with you. You hate them, you love them, they have no conditions, they are still brimming with love. So it's very difficult to get into that. So it's better not to conceptualize anything. ठीक है जी?
Yeah, good. Jai Gurudev.
Yeah,
Well
Anita ji, you
explained.
okay. Yeah, Shubhra ji, Anita ji, you can just ask after. Yeah, Shubhra
I
ji.
have to just say, Jai Gurudev, you have
Very good.
explained very nicely, and you have to be aware. What I understood that you have to be aware and have to spend some time with yourself.
Yes.
So thank
See,
you for
this is also what I
explaining.
told also is a concept. Okay. But this concept is a powerful concept because this concept breaks all the concepts.
Right.
It is like Buddha says, have no desire.
Right.
But then all the bhikshuks, all his disciples had a desire for salvation. And Buddha says, okay,
Yeah.
that desire to become desireless is beautiful. That effort to become effortless is beautiful. That concept that breaks all the other concept is the ultimate concept. Because the day it breaks the other concept, the day it completely breaks all the concept, this concept also will crash in front of you and you will know this also is just a concept.
Right. Okay, Jai Gurudev.
Okay.
Nicely explained.
Jai Gurudev. Yeah, Anita ji.
Pranam ji.
Pranam.
It's just, I'm just talking for my gratitude. There was so much of, I just felt as if I'm in Ganeshpuri, sitting connected so much to Nityananda
Because you said
consciousness and
aware,
then
right? Yeah.
totally zoned out. I don't
Yeah, I'm
know
very few meters from his feet, Samadhi.
Yeah, absolutely. I was as if I'm there in front of his Samadhi, totally connected.
Yeah. Good.
Absolutely. Beautiful experience. Beautiful.
Nice. Thank you. Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Yeah, chat. Anybody else? I saw somebody's.
Can I ask question? I've already written in the chat box.
You have? Okay, you can ask, Madhuraji. Yeah, you can ask. That is more easier.
Yeah, the same question. Yeah, my question is being that like feeling dropping everything, but being in the same samsara. So how to manage now all things, worldly things? I'm not interested right now. Like so, but how
No,
to
it will
explain
be
them?
very, very.
Whatever.
Yeah, I get your point. I get your point. See, to come to the other side, you need to slowly come. Nobody has uh, teleported themselves from this bank to the other. There are a lot of challenges that will come. But these, you can be very sure that slowly it will give way. All that you need to do is be aware of this tattva. That is what Ramana Bhagwan constantly said, do whatever you want. But your only practice is to turn within and become aware of that self. That's all. So that self, we do not know where is that self. That is why I'm teaching shifting into awareness as the first step. Become aware of you as an entity in your body. Like, for example, all of you are sitting here, it will just take 1 to 2 minutes to shift into that awareness. This is the first simple step that you can practice every single day to move from ego mind consciousness to your inwardliness. Okay? And for that, you need to, Madhuraji, are you there? Are you gone? Okay.
I'm there.
Okay. Were you the one who wrote period to me? Said something and said period.
No.
It was not you. Somebody else. Okay. So I was trying to explain something and they said, this satsang timing is when it is my family time.
Yes, I am that same one. Yeah. Yes.
Okay, that's good. That's good. Because I said, no, wherever our priorities are there, we can be there. Nobody has told, drop that and come here. But when you say, this is my family time, period, no questions asked, then nobody can intrude into the space, be there. So this, when you say this, that is when I'm fully engrossed in this world. Nobody can touch me. No spirituality. What I am saying is, get spiritual. Why can't we be aware even while being in the family? Why can't I be aware that I am not this body? So for that, the first thing, what I was telling right now, you're looking at me. You're listening to me. Everybody's listening to me. Now, first, just become aware. Where are you? First feeling will come, I am here. I'm looking at you. Sorry. Is it your eyes that is looking at me? Is it your head that is looking at me? Is it your body that's looking at me? Or you can off, Madhura, you can off the video if you want to. I thought you went off. That's why I asked. So what is it that is watching? You'll see that through your eyes, you are watching. You only are watching, but it is through your eyes, through these eyes. Just become aware of it and see. Suddenly you are gone behind the eyes. You are thinking, this whole one is looking at. No, suddenly you say, no, there's someone behind this two eyes. You are using your eyes. You are using your eyes to look at me. You are not the eyes. What happens? Immediately you shift inside and you say, yes, I'm looking through the window of these eyes. Just experience that. I'm looking at you through the window. I'm peeping through my eyes. So suddenly what has happened? There's a shift that has occurred. Till now, what I was feeling, I means the whole body. I don't know where I am. Suddenly, what has happened with this 1 minute experience? You're gone behind and you can see, oh, I am within. I am seeing through my eyes. I'm listening through my ears. I am not the ears. Oh, that's amazing. I thought my ears are listening and this whole body is listening. No, I'm not this body. I'm someone in this body who's experiencing. This much also, if you practice this this is what I call as a presence. I as the presence. Always practice this, deepen it, and then live. If you're a mother, if you're a wife, go ahead and do your work. If you're in the office, do that, but keep shifting. So now what you'll see is even in the family time, you're sitting there, but the shift has occurred. You are fully with the family, but The one who is interacting is not I, the obsessive mother, I, the obsessive father, I, the obsessive parent. It is a presence. This body is their son. This body is a wife. This body is a mother. But I'm not this body. I'm the presence. I move from body to body. One lifetime, I entered this body and I developed this body because I want to have this experience. The day I'm done with it, I move. Body drops. This presence that is looking through these eyes, this will move into another body and create another body. That's what I said, Malaleshwari. First, it creates a sun, and then it moves, and then it sees that another body it has got, but that soul doesn't identify because you have shifted. The mother has shifted now into another female, and the same son is looking at that lady as a wife. Why? Because he's seeing the body. But consciousness has moved from here to this is where we need to become constantly aware. So this shifting into awareness is a little practice. Yeah.
The same whatever you are saying, I'm practicing from last so many, I think, long period, and I'm able to witness all these things. But
then there is nothing called family time and spiritual time. Both are same.
No, not the spiritual, but the timing of your sessions was that time, and I actually wanted that. I wanted to listen this, and now I'm here.
Doesn't matter.
So that I requested you to give the recordings. That's it.
No, that is fine. That is fine. But I'm telling, when I am making it very period, nothing can come. Your closed doors. What we are I'm just using as an example. Not only you, many have told this. Many have told. Someone one day bombarded me and said, "What for you? What you are 24 hours into this? I've got a family to take care of. So many responsibilities are there. You don't understand all these things." I said, "Oh, that is your problem." Because he said, "You got to take care. You, the body is feeling that you got to take care." That is where your suffering is coming from. If you shift into the divine presence, you will see that something is taking care of your body. Everything that is taking care of your body, the one who's breathing right now, the one who's digesting, the one who is beating your heart, the one who is, palpating the presence, the perspiration, the same presence, the cosmic intelligence, which can take care of your body, will take care of your life also. But when you say, I am this body, then I say, I have got a lot of responsibilities. I have got this and all that. So many people have this. If you keep just shifting slowly with experience, you will come to know that, wow, there's something different. And that is where you will start detaching. Not detaching as Vairagis, I leave my house and go. No, you will be there, but you will not be the obsessive person you were. You will, from within, you will watch. And then you will be able to give them also, all your loved ones also, completion without having a guilt that I am missing anything here. Is that clear?
Yes. And one more thing, okay. How to deal with means I understood this. I'm experiencing all these things, and I'm in blissful state always, means maximum time. But others, or wherever, with the people with whom I am, they think she's lost. She went somewhere or whatever like that. So it doesn't matter for me, right?
See, that's very normal. Very normal, because they think they are the body strongly. No, you have started identified who you are. Okay, you have started shifting. Poor thing, they don't have an experience, so you have to understand their problem. Even if you were there, you would have said the same in your earlier ages. Is that what these all mad guys? So you can understand they are doing that out of ignorance, not purposely. So when you have understand, you will have karuna, you will have compassion, you will have patience. Okay, they do not understand. You call me mad or whatever you are calling me, no problem. It doesn't matter. Bhagavan Nityananda used to say, everybody calls all these avadutas and all those sannyasis as madmen. And he says, everybody is mad. These avadutas are mad, are having divine madness. They are only mad behind the divine. And everybody else is divine behind their wives, their children, their world, their money, their fame, their health, their wealth. Everybody is mad behind this something. And he says, to have divine madness is divine. So have madness, but be divine, he says. Okay, I think. Thank you, Ji. Thank you. So I think one more just chat message is there. I'll just take that and we'll finish it up. I saw somebody's message here. Yeah, Dhanalakshmi, yeah, you can just ask. I see your chat, but you can directly ask. That is better.
Thank you, Bhaiya. Now, just
Thank
before
you.
the chat question, I want to ask you, just now you said when you claim I'm doing the commitments, the responsibilities, that's when your suffering comes. People in like Avaduda and they don't have that. I mean, like myself, like if in my situation, I like the responsibilities are on my shoulder. So I needed to help my brother. I needed to help my mother. So then I am suffering because I've left husband, children,
Dhanalakshmi,
finance.
who's
So
suffering? Who's
when you
suffering
say
here?
I,
Who's
I,
suffering?
I,
Can you stop for a while? Can you stop for a while before you go on and on? Can you just tell me? You said I am suffering. I have mother, I have father, I have brother, whatever. Can you tell me who's the one who's suffering?
Dhanalakshmi, because
That identity, ma. That identity, that who feels I am a wife, I am a husband, I am a brother, I am a sister. All this identity suffers. You shift into the divine presence. That suffering, I don't say it will go off, but it will drastically reduce. Immediately. That is the first step. It will reduce. And more you stabilize that presence in you, you have to practice. Without practice, no, this philosophy will not help. You have to do what I'm saying here. You have to shift into that and know. You have to realize, you have to ask yourself, I am a brother, am I a sister, am I what? Because I told you, you are the presence, you are moving from body to body. This body, you have become a mother, father, husband, wife, whatever. Last life, you were something else. Which is real? This presence is real, not these identities. So when we stop identifying ourselves strongly with these identities, you said, my mother. Whose mother? Present doesn't have mother. Your body has. The ego mind has mother and all these things. So you function. Whatever you're doing, you function. You finish your responsibilities, whatever is there. Nobody's telling no. And you can't escape that because that's your prarabdha. But when you finish that prarabdha, you shift into this divine presence and complete that prarabdha. The experience wholly will be different. Then and for that you need practice. Is that fine?
Okay. Thank you. The other question I wanted to ask you is, you always make reference about the scriptures, the holy books. Lord Shiva said this, Lord Shiva said that to Ma Parvati and all that. And then just now in the satsang, he said, no one has seen Lord Shiva, Jesus, Buddha and all that. So how, we are buying these books from Amazon, how do we know that Lord Shiva actually said all this?
We don't know. We don't know because it's a concept. See, when the book came to me, I didn't believe it because I'm not a believer. And that is why when I've heard a lot of satsangs on Puranas and Shiv Mahapuran and this, I didn't believe it. Somebody is running behind that, this happened, that happened. I refuse to believe. But when I came across this Devi Kalutra and all that, when they said this concept, this Shiva, and this is not that, it interested me because it always used to hit my head. How can gods do all these things? How can God get angry and kill somebody? How can God curse? So when this was cleared, I was ready for it. Then what I did is I sat with this and meditated on it. When I took Devi Kalotra and meditated on it, I experienced it. So that concept gave me an introduction to go within and experience. And when I experienced it, I believed it. When I believed it, now I'm telling people or teaching people because people will not listen what I'm telling. They will think ye apna bakwas bana raha hai. Then I will give a reference. Okay, what I'm telling is there in that scripture. This is what it is. That is why I'm giving reference. Is that clear to you? And this is written by someone who has not seen but experienced Shiva consciousness. Okay, so as I told you, they are using the name Shiva and Shakti. How will you call it? Like, for example, I say there is awareness, pure awareness, and there is consciousness. Now, if I want to explain awareness or consciousness, will I not give a name called consciousness and awareness to you? How will I explain it otherwise? Without words, I'll have to sit in silence and transmit that silence, but we are not ready to catch the language of silence. So I have to make noise. I have to bring out names. That is how people name these tattvas, elements, something or the other. So we don't have to get engrossed in the names. We have to go beyond what the name is meant for. Clear?
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you.
And I visited your website. I saw all the courses displayed. So now, like for the beginner, if I want to click, choose one.
Shifting into awareness, there is. Yeah, that's always this basic. The root of all is it's given there. The root of all practices, shifting into awareness. You can do that. And I
Shifting
think
to
you have
awareness
asked
is
this
the
question.
first.
You have asked this
Now,
question
because
before also, and I have given the same answer.
because I saw like many courses listed. So I was
You had
like,
asked this. I very clearly remember. My memory is very sharp on this. You had asked this. I told this. So yeah, I think you just make a note first before you forget it.
Shifting into awareness is the first course to do. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay,
It's not so
thank you.
difficult. You note it down. Yeah, Lokanand, you
Okay.
want to ask something? Sorry? I can't hear you. Okay, let's hurry up because it's time up and they want to wind it up.
Hello.
Yeah, Lokanand.
I said thank you very much.
Go ahead, go ahead.
I just enjoyed your thing. And it helped
Okay,
me.
so you just want to thank. I thought it was a question.
No, there's no question, sir. You're already being answered by yourself.
Thank you. Thank you for being here and participating. And thank you to everybody who participated, because I say satsang means we all sit together and bring out that environment where we sit with Satya, where we sit with Sat, where we are sitting with the truth. And without everybody's presence, that's not possible. So thank you for being here, everybody, and instigating this whole process. Over to you, Ajay ji.
Yes, thank you so much. सॉरी, आज मैं आपके साथ पूरा नहीं रह पाया क्योंकि हमारा वो अंडमान का हवाई यात्रा का कुछ इमरजेंसी हो
नहीं
गया।
आपका यहाँ काम नहीं, आप ये फैसिलिटेट कर रहे हो, वही आपका काम है।
हाँ, लेकिन नहीं, थैंक यू सो मच। जो भी मैंने सुना बहुत मजा आया और थैंक यू सो मच। And all the participants also, I would like to express my gratitude for coming in such good number. और हर महीने में we are really obliged by Jacob sir कि वो second Tuesday हमारे यहाँ आते हैं और आज भी उन्होंने ये टॉपिक लिया। थैंक यू सो मच। लेकिन ये मैं रिकॉर्डिंग किया है, ये यूट्यूब पे मैं सुनूंगा आराम से, क्योंकि आज एकदम कुछ इमरजेंसी आ गया था तो उसको डील कर रहा हूँ।
ठीक है। हाँ, मैं वो लिंक भी शेयर करूंगा ऑन योर चैनल। इट विल हेल्प द अदर्स। जो भी अब्रॉड है ना, वहाँ बैठ नहीं सकते,